Hello friends, my name is Aniket Pataskar and I am going to teach you important and basic things about Photoshop. I'm gonna cover various things in just 1 hour by using simple techniques. Some of the topics which I am going to take are as below. First is creating a new file and opening your existing file in Photoshop CS6. Basics about layers. Common basic Photoshop tasks. Introduction to basic tools: brush tool, stamp tool, blur, sharpen and smudge tools. Then I'm gonna cover image adjustment tutorial. Some extra important points I'm gonna cover. After doing this course, you will get basic idea about Photoshop and you will be able to use it by your own. So thank you. See you in the next class. Hello friends, this is our first tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to create a new file and open your existing file in Photoshop CS6. For this, you need to go to the file and then click on new. Just go to the file and click on new. Give the name of the file. Here I am giving it as ABC and select proper width and height. In this case, I am selecting width as 1024. And in terms of pixels, I'm selecting, you can select either inches or centimeters, millimeters, points, picas, columns. And I'm selecting height also as 1024. And here also I'm selecting pixels. And the resolution will be around 90. It's pixel per inches. And color mode, I'm taking it as RGB. You can take any of these. And 8-bit, I'm selecting 8 bits and background content as a white. You can select any of these options. Once you're done with all these settings, just click on OK. So this is the new file which is just opened. If you draw anything and suppose you want to save this file, for saving your file, you need to go to the file and select this as a save or save as. So I'm selecting it save now, and here you can change the file name. Here I am giving the name as one, and you can select the location where you want to save this. Here I am choosing it on desktop and select the proper file format. There are many options like large document format, BMP, CompuServe, GIF, DCOM, Photoshop EPS, IFF format, different type of JPG formats, multi-picture format, PCX, different kind of Photoshop formats, Pixar, PNG, portable bitmap, CTEX, CT, Targa, TIFF, Photoshop DCS 1.0, 2.0. But I'm selecting here as a Photoshop format and just I'm saving it. So it's available on your desktop. So for opening your any of your file, just go to the file and click on open button. And you can open any either single file or multiple files at the same time. So I'm opening these two files simultaneously. So I selected these two files and just hit on open. So this is the first file, this is the second file. Hello friends, this is our second tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to understand basics about the layers. Layer is very important concept in Photoshop. So it's very essential to know about the layers. So what is the layer? In Photoshop, layers are used to work on individual parts of an image while not affecting another part. You might say that layers are like a transparency papers stacked on top of one another, which can be repositioned and separately drawn on without disturbing each other. To open layer panel, just go to the window menu and select this layer option. Else you can press F7 button on your keyboard. So I am selecting this. Now you can see here the layer panel has got appear. To create a new layer, you can simply click on a create new layer icon. This is the create new layer icon. Just click on this. You can see you can add as many layers as you want. There is another way to create the new layer. Just go to the layer menu, click on select this new and click on the layer. Give the proper name to the layer as I am giving one and just click OK. This is the layer which I have added. You can rename these layers by just double clicking on any layer and give the name as you want that. Just select that particular layer and double click on it to rename this. To delete any particular layer, select any layer and click on this delete button icon. Select yes, or else just select it and drag it and drop it to the delete button. So it will automatically delete the layer once you drop it over there. So for this, if you want to delete multiple layers, just select first layer and press shift and select move your cursor to the last layer, so all the layers in between get selected and just simply drag and drop it to the delete button. So for knowing this concept in brief, I am just giving you an example. This is the file woman.png. I am just moving it to the, just dragging and dropping it to my screen workspace, and I'm just enter. I'm just hitting enter button. So you can see this woman layer has got created. If you move any image to the to your existing Photoshop file, the new layer of that image will get created. So for moving this layer, just simply go to that particular object and right click on it and select that particular layer. So here it is a woman layer. So I selected it and I'm just moving it here and I'm making its size smaller by pressing Command T, which is transform tool, and after that I'm pressing shift and moving it. Um, and after that just click enter. just hit enter. And so this is our first layer, which is the background layer, and the second layer is a woman. To duplicate any layer, select particular layer and drag and drop to the new layer icon so that your duplicate layer will get created. If you want to make a duplicate of this layer, woman layer, just select this layer and move it to the new create new layer icon. So you can see the woman copy has got created. So select this and move it here. You can see these two different layers are created. You can make your layer visible or invisible by clicking on eye symbol of a particular layer. So if you want to make this layer as a invisible, just go to this layer and click on this eye symbol. To lock any layer, click on lock icon of a specific layer. If you want to lock this layer, select this layer and click on the lock icon. This is the lock icon. So this layer has got lock now. You will not be able to do anything with this layer once it has got locked. To unlock it, just click it again on this lock icon. You can change the opacity and transparency and fill of any layer and set it the proper value of it. If you want to change the opacity level of this, just go to this opacity option and you can make it transparent, or you can set as much opacity as you want. And fill also I can change. So you can play with all these settings. Hello friends, this is our third tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to understand basic Photoshop tasks. Let's begin with cropping, resizing and rotating of an image. So what is cropping? If you want to remove part of an image, you can crop it. You can think of cropping like using a pair of scissors to cut out the part you no longer want. This is an image, and if I want only the sky part, just go to this crop tool and select this much portion and click enter. Now you can see this only sky part has got selected. The rest of the part has got deleted or it has got skipped. So this is all about the cropping. Then move next to the resizing. If you want to make an image smaller or larger, you can resize it. However, keep in mind that making an image larger than its original size generally does not look good. Generally, it may lead to the pixelation or blurriness of the image. So it's good to reduce the size of the image, but it's not that good practice to increase the size. So I'll show you how to resize the image. For resizing any image, just go to the image and image size option. Just click on this. Now you can see the width as 2560 pixels and height as 1563 pixels. You can change the width as a 1000. So I'm reducing the image size, and so the as I change the width, automatically height got changed because I selected this option constraint proportions. So in the proportion of width, height will get changed. In proportion of height, width will get changed. So once you're done with all these settings, just click on OK. Now you can see the size of the image has got decreased. To undo this, just press Ctrl Z or Command Z on your Mac, and if you want to increase the size of an image, just go to image size again, and instead of 2560, I'll do 3580. I'm not selecting this constant proportion, so uh, and 3000. Now you can see the image has got a little bit distorted because I have not selected the constraint proportion option. So I'm undoing it again by pressing Ctrl Z on my keyboard. Go to the image size, and select this constraint proportion option and 3500. And okay. Now you can see the image size has got increased, but it has got a little bit blurred. This is all about the resizing. Now move next to the rotating. If you want to change the orientation of an image, you can rotate it to the left or right or any angle which you want. For rotating any image, just select this image layer, go to the image option, uh, and go to the image rotation, and you can select this 90-degree clockwise or 90-degree counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. So I'm selecting this 90-degree clockwise, so it has got rotated. Or image rotation 90 counterclockwise. If you want to rotate it 180-degree, you can select this option, and you can choose the value manually by selecting this arbitrary option. Here I am selecting the angle as 55-degree clockwise. So you can see the image has got rotated clockwise 55-degree. Now move to the next tool, which is transform tool in Photoshop. So for this I am selecting this layer, elephant layer. I'm right clicking it and selecting this particular layer, and going to the edit and transform. Which task you want to do, depending on that scaling, rotating, skew, distort, perspective, warp, rotate 180-degree, rotate 90-degree clockwise, and rotate 90-degree counterclockwise, flip horizontal, flip vertical. You can select any option out of these. So, and if you want to do the free transform, just select this option, free transform, or command T you can press, or control T. So I'm selecting this layer and pressing control T. Now this transform tool has got open. You can rotate it manually uh, as you want, or you can increase the size or decrease the size. Once you're done with this, just click enter. So you can see the transformation has got taken place. If you want to undo this, just press Ctrl Z again, and transform. If you want to do this key to this, you can do this key to this. Like, it will distort your object, or you can use the perspective. This is also used to distort your image. In the similar way, you can use the transform tool. There is one more essential task in your Photoshop. It's undo and redo. You can do this by going to the edit menu. There is an option of redo freeform and step backward and step forward. These three tools are for undoing and redoing any of your tasks. Hello friends, this is our fourth tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to understand basics about the tools. There are many tools available in Photoshop. It is very essential to know about these tools. So we are going to take a look at the few important tools which we use in Photoshop. So there are some of the tools which is mentioned here, like move tool, selection tool, lasso tool, magic wand tool, crop tool, eraser tool, paint bucket tool, hand tool, and zoom tool. So first one is move tool. For moving any object in your image, you can use this tool. So in this case, I want to move this circle object. So I'm just right clicking on this circle object and selecting its layer, or selecting the layer from this layer panel. So this is the layer of the circle object, and just go to this move tool and select it. Once you're done, you will be able to move this object. So next tool is a selection tool. For selecting particular rectangular, elliptical, single row of single column portion of an image, you can use selection tool. If you want to move this rectangular portion of this circle, then just select this portion and then go to the move tool and just move this. Or if you want to move the circular portion, then just click here, and this elliptical marquee tool, just select this and select this portion and use move tool to move this portion. You can move this row also. If you want to move this row, select this and use the move tool. And you can see this portion has got moved by it. Similar way, you can use the single column marquee tool. Then next tool comes as a lasso tool. Lasso tool is used for selecting particular shape or area of your choice. You can do it with this lasso tool. So suppose this is a lasso tool. This is the lasso tool, and I'm selecting the layer third of this, and if I want to move this yellow portion out, I'm just selecting this by clicking here and then moving it here again, then clicking again to here, clicking again here, and going back to the starting point and finishing it. Now this portion has approximately got selected, and then use the move tool and you can move this, or else you can randomly select any of the shape like this with the same tool, go to the particular layer and move it, or you can delete it. This is the polygonal lasso tool. Then there is a plain lasso tool. You can randomly draw any shape whichever you want to move or delete. So now I'm drawing like this, just deleting it. Then next tool comes this magic wand tool. It is used to select a section of an image automatically. This is the magic wand tool. And I'm selecting layer third, and if you want to select the yellow portion or pink portion, you can select by this. So right now I'm selecting this pink portion. I want to remove it. I want to move it. So I selected it by this, and this by using move tool, I'm moving it here. Then next comes is a crop tool. It is used to take part of an image out and remove the rest of the image. So if I want only this portion of an image, I selected this part only, and by using this crop tool, and I clicked enter. Now only this much portion has comes with the image, and rest of the part has got removed. So this is all about the crop tool. The next tool comes is the eraser tool. It is used to remove part of an image. So I'm selecting this eraser tool and select the brush size of this. You can increase or decrease the size of it, and use this to erase unwanted part of your image. Then next part comes is a paint bucket tool. It is used to fill the color to selected area or an entire image. So this is the paint bucket tool. If you draw any shape, you can use this paint bucket tool. Select the proper color which you want to fill into that shape. So I'm selecting this color, filling it. Then next comes is a hand tool. It is used to move the image completely to see it completely. Sorry, it is used to move the image around to see it completely. Uh, this is the hand tool. If you zoom it, then you will be able to see the use of hand tool. If you want to go to this portion, you can move it. If you want to go to this portion, you can move to that particular portion. And the next part comes is a zoom tool. It is used to zoom in and zoom out of an image. This is the zoom tool. You select this zoom tool, and once you click on this, you can zoom as much as you want. And for zooming it out, there is a zoom minus option. Select this and click here. You can zoom it out or zoom in. Hello friends, this is our fifth tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to understand the brush tool. So basically, the brush tool is very essential in Photoshop. Brush tool allows you to paint on any layer, much like a real paintbrush. You will also have different settings to choose from, which can help you to customize it for different situations. Once you know how to use the brush tool, you will notice that many other tools, including the eraser and spot healing brush, uses a similar group of settings. It's easy to use the brush tool to paint in your document. Simply locate and select the brush tool from the tools panel, and then click and drag in the document window to paint. You can also press the B key on your keyboard to select the brush tool at any time. So basically this is the brush tool here. If you are selecting any other tool, if you want the brush tool, just simply press the B key. You can see the brush here. Right now I'm having this layer. I'm just deleting it and I'm creating this new layer, and I have selected the brush size as 48. So if you want to draw anything, you can draw this. This is a kind of a thick brush. So what is the brush size? If you want to make the brush larger or smaller, click the brush picker drop down arrow in the control panel and then adjust the size slider. So go here and select the proper size, whatever you want, and just draw it. If you want the smallest one, then you can choose this one. There are plenty of brushes available with different properties like this, or you can take it off green color grass. I'm deleting it again. You want to draw the grass, you can draw by this. And next part comes is the hardness. If you want to make the edges of the brush harder or softer, you can adjust the hardness from the same drop down menu. This is another option of the hardness. For this you have to select these normal brushes, and you can see the difference. Like if I am taking this, taking the size as a 13 and hardness level as 15. If I'm drawing it, you can see the edges of the curve are blurred, and if I increase the hardness level, it's 100%. Now you can see the edges are sharper than the previous one. So this is very important, hardness. And then next part comes is the opacity. By default, the opacity of your brush is set to the 100%. You can see it here, meaning the brush will use the highest intensity. However, you can reduce the opacity of your brush to make it less intense. You can reduce the opacity like 21%. You can see this the faint curves, faint drawing will be there. And you increase this, and there is one more thing, flow. You can change the flow of this curve. It also make it darker. There are plenty of modes available like normal, dissolve, darken, multiply, color burn, linear burn, darker color, lighten, screen, so and so on. You can select any of this for doing different experiments. Tutorial number 6. In this tutorial, we are going to understand the text tool. Adobe Photoshop is a software that is mostly used for illustrations and editing photographs. However, you can also add text in Photoshop and adjust qualities such as the font, size, and color of the text. Keep in mind that the main reason why people create text in Photoshop is to add a visual element to their Photoshop image with short messages rather than type out long paragraphs. There are different kind of type tools available. Horizontal type tool, vertical type tool, horizontal type mask tool, vertical type mask tool. So let's see one by one. First is horizontal type tool. It is used most frequently. The horizontal type tool lets you type solid letters horizontally from left to right. So basically this is the text tool symbol. Uh, you can select it by mouse or just press T button. So this is the text tool. Right now I am hiding this layer to show you the demo. So this is the text tool started, and I'm selecting the font as Times New Roman. This is Times New Roman, and the style will be regular. Uh, there are options like regular, italic, bold, bold, italic. So right now I'm selecting this bold, and font size I'm selecting is 60, and the sharp, crisp, strong, smooth. So I'm selecting sharp, and the alignment I'm selecting is left alignment, and the color I'm selecting is blue. Okay, so here I'm typing. This is the word which I type. And if you want to give different kind of effects to this, just select this create wrap text, and select this arc effect. You can see this arc effect, arc lower, arc upper, then another arc, bulge, it's fish, flag, fish eye. There are different kinds of options, and you can change the setting of that. You can change the values of it. You can give different effects to your text, and once you're done, click OK. So I'm undoing it. For example, if you want to give increase the size or decrease the size, you can select this, select through this 72. If you want more than 72, just type the value whatever you want. I'm typing 250, so it's increased here. It's all about this horizontal type tool. Now the next part comes as a vertical type tool. So just go to this tool and hold it. So this vertical type tool will come. If you want, this tool allows you to type horizontally, but instead of creating solid letters, uh, talking about the vertical type tool, you can use the vertical type tool to type from top to the bottom. If you want to type from top to bottom, you can use this tool, top to bottom. This is top to bottom. If you want to type in this manner, you can use this. Uh, the next tool comes as a horizontal type mask tool. This tool allows you to type horizontally, but instead of creating solid letters, it makes the letters into a selection. You can then use the selection however you wish, like paint inside it or delete it so the underlying layer appears. So for using this tool, this is horizontal type mask tool. Just create new layer and type anything whatever you want. Once you type it, you will not able to change. So do it carefully here. So I'm typing it horizontal type mask. Once it is done, if you want to move this to any of the selection tool and move it wherever you want, and if you want to give a cool effect to this, then select the brush tool and I'm selecting this one and increasing the size of this. Yes, if I want to give the effects like this, once you're done, just deselect it. You can see if you want to give the effect like this, then you use this tool. The similar way the vertical type mask tool works, this works similarly to the vertical type tool, except it turns the type letter into a selection. This is in similar way, vertical. Oh, sorry. You can see this. So this is all about this tutorial. Tutorial number 7. In this tutorial, we are going to understand the stamp tool. The clone stamp tool works its magic by taking sample pixels from one area and cloning them onto another area. Cloning works better than copying and pasting because cloning allows you to retain soft edges on details such as shadows, giving you a more realistic duplicate image. So if you go to the Photoshop and a stone to clone stamp tool, you have to use this. You have to press S button or go here and select this clone stamp tool, or S is the shortcut button for it. and you can see here it is a poster. And if you want to remove all of these contents and you have to make it blank like this color, so you can do it by using this clone stamp tool. Just select this tool and select the appropriate size of it, appropriate brush size. And once you're done with this, go to the area which you want to make a clone of. So suppose if I want to remove this area, and if I want to make this area as a blank, then I'm going here and holding my alt key on keyboard and pressing right click of mouse, and then leave all these buttons and simply right click and do like this. So you can see this is, it's copying that content from this area to this area. In the similar way, do this procedure and go here and press alt button and click, and then they remove the area which you don't want. Then again I'm doing this here, the same case, do it again press alt and right click, and press alt and right click and remove this, again this, again this. Now I completely remove the content of this poster and this poster looks very blank now. In the similar way, if I want to extend these bricks up to the bottom, so I'm increasing the brush size as 100 or less than the suppose 80. And if you want to make a bricks over here, just go here and press alt button and just copy it. Then again go here and alt and move this, and go here alt and move it. So this doesn't look good, so I'm undoing it and doing it again, alt and then again alt and this, alt and right click. So this blurred area I'm just doing it again so that it can look good. So the similar way you can do this. This tool is very important and it has many applications. Like you can remove any unwanted part in your image, or you can add the duplicate part which you want. That's all about this tutorial. Tutorial number 8. In this tutorial we are going to study about the blur, sharpen and smudge tool. This tool plays an important role in photo retouching and increasing beauty of any photograph. So our first tool is blur tool. Blur tool is used to soften an image. You can save an image with a few effects. Blurring can also be used for artistic effect. You can also blur portion of your image to emphasize and focus on a particular element. So I am going to show you the demo of this blur tool. So this is the symbol of blur tool. You can select this is a blur tool, and once you select with this, you can choose the proper size of the brush, and the strength indicates the intensity by which the blurring happens. So you can increase or decrease the strength as per your requirement. So I am going to take this as a 66%. Okay, and I want some a little bit more brush size. So you can see the wrinkles are there in this photograph. If you want to remove it to certain extent, then just use this blur tool around it, so it makes it blur. You can see that. I'm decreasing the size a bit for this region. So you can see that we have removed the wrinkles. So in this way, to give the blur effect, you can use this blur tool. The next tool comes as a sharpen tool. The sharpen tool is used to focus image areas of your interest. It creates sharpness in particular areas. If you want to sharp these two eyes and teeth, you can go here and hold, press your right click button and hold. So this sharpen tool option will come, and select this option, and I'm going to reduce the brush size, and in strength I'm gonna increase a bit. Now you can see these eyes. If you want to make it more brighter, more sharper, you can use this. If you want the teeth to be blown, you can use this. Now you can see this, the if sharpen tool effect. The next tool comes is a smudge tool. The smudge tool is used to spread and mix content of image areas. It is used to create special effect in image, or it can also used to distort an image. So for this, for showing this demo, I'm going to first, I'm gonna draw some random brush. Now go here and take this smudge tool, and select the proper brush, like I'm selecting it. The size of this is, now you can see, you can give this effect like, you can spread it up the pixels or the colors. You can choose another brush. If you want to distort an image, you can use this. You can distort it by using that tool, but it's of no use. Tutorial 9, Image Adjustment Tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to adjust various vital parameters of an image. For this, you need to go to the image menu bar, click on adjustments and choose parameters which you want to adjust. So brightness oblique contrast, levels, curves, exposure, hue and saturation, black and white, posterize, equalize. These are some of the important uh, parameters which we are going to learn here. There are so many parameters, but these are the important ones. So let's see one by one. First is brightness oblique contrast. So I'm going to click here. You can increase the brightness of your image by increasing this, or decrease by going below the value of 0, like minus value, or you can enter the value here in this text box. So I'm increasing brightness and decreasing contrast a bit, and once you're done, you can click OK. You can see the change in the image. So I'm undoing it, Control Z, and again doing adjustment, brightness, contrast. You can do the auto option. You can select auto option also. It will automatically do the brightness contrast setting. And the next part comes is levels. Go to the level, and you can select the particular color, like red color in this image. You can adjust it. Then green color, you can increase or decrease it. Blue color, you can modify this also. Once you're done with all these settings, and you can see the preview here. If you don't want to see the preview, just uncheck it, but keep this selected always, or you can do the auto here also. Okay. If you want to change all the three colors together, you can select this RGB channel, and it will change all the three colors like red, green and blue. Once you're done, click OK. So next is image adjustment curves. These curves are used to give cool effect to your image. So here also RGB, red, green and blue, these four options are available. So I'm going to select this red, and I'm giving this as a S shape. Then the green color as also different this shape, and blue color as well. Like this, and once I'm done, I'll click OK. So you can see the changes in the image. So I'm undoing it. You can see this original image, and this is we have given the effect. So next is exposure. You can change the exposure of an image by using this exposure. You can set the exposure value here, and its offset and gamma correction value. Once you're done, click OK. Then next is a hue oblique saturation. Image adjustment, hue saturation. You can change the hue value and saturation value. So you can see the cool effect is appearing here. Once you're done, click OK. So I'm cancelling it. Then next is black and white. If you want to make any image black and white, just go to image adjustment and select this black and white option and select the proper value which you want to change, or you can set it to the auto and click OK. And you can see your image is black and white now. Then next, posterize. Go to the image adjustment and posterize. It will look like a poster. You can change the value of this. Click OK. Then next is equalize. Go to image adjustment and equalize. It will automatically equalize the color and different values and different parameters. So you don't need to do it manually. So equalize is the option for doing all these settings automatically. So that's all about this tutorial. Tutorial number 10, Extras 1. In this tutorial, we are going to learn some of the essential extra things required for Photoshop. So let's begin with the rulers. To open a ruler, go to View menu bar and select Rulers option. And to hide it, do the same thing again. So go to the View and select this Rulers option. You can see this ruler, horizontal ruler as well as vertical ruler appear here. You can change the parameter of it as a pixels or inches or centimeters or millimeters. So right now or points, you can choose any of this. Right now I'm selecting the centimeters. And the next part comes is a undo and redo. For this, if suppose I'm drawing something here and if I don't want this, so I can go to the edit and I can do undo brush, or if I want this again, then I'm again going to edit and redo brush, or else I can use by this step backward and step forward. So I'm going to do the step backward. Okay. Then next part comes is a rotate view tool, R. It is used to rotate your view by specific angle. So go to the hand tool and below that there is a rotate view tool. You can select this. You can change the angle by this, or you can specify the particular value as 14 degrees, or you can change by using here also. If you want to reset it, you can reset view. To change the view of your Photoshop software, press F. You can right now it's not working because I'm recording my screen. So you can try by just pressing the F key. And then next part it comes as a gradient tool. It is used to create different shades of colors and we can apply it to our image. So the gradient tool is here. You can see that this is go anywhere and just select one point and drag and you can see the shades of different shades of color appeared here. If you want to give a cool effect like this, I'm selecting this and changing the color of this portion as pink. Smoothness is 100%. Once I'm done with this, I'm clicking OK. You can see I have given the pink colored effect here, and you can spread it as long as you want. In which area you want to give, you can give it to that particular area. There are different kind of gradient options available: linear gradient, radial gradient, angle gradient, reflected gradient, and diamond gradient. You can give any of these effects. We have seen these all. So that's all about this tutorial. Tutorial 11, Extras 2. This tutorial we are going to learn different kind of filters available in Photoshop. Basically filters we are using to give different effects to our image. So let's see one by one. Use any filter to your image. Go to the filter menu and select the particular filter which you want to use. So here I am starting with the blur filter and I'm using this lens blur. So you can see it gives a lens kind of effect. You can change the radius of this, and once you're done with all these settings, just hit OK. Now you can see the blur effect is there in your image, which was not there previously. It's there after applying the effect. Then next filter comes as a distort. Go to the filter and distort, and I'm going to use this ripple. Suppose you can change the amount of ripples whatever you want. You can give the ripple kind of effect here. And once you're done, just you can change the size of the ripple, like large or medium or small. So by default it's medium, so I selected this, and once you're done just click OK. You can see this, the image has got changed. Then next part comes is a noise. Go to the filter and noise, and you can add noise to your image. You can increase the amount of that. You can change the distribution as uniform or Gaussian. I selected this and I want little bit grains done with this. So you can see the grains over here. Then next part is a pixelate. Using this, go to the filter and pixelate and select this mosaic. You can see the pixels over here. You can increase the size of this, size of the pixel, whatever you want. So I selected this. Now this image looks like a pixeled image. Then next part is a render. Go to the filter and render, and I'm selecting this lens flare. It gives the effect of a lens, similar to the image which you click by your DSLR camera. So you can change the center part of this lens here. You can modify it here and increase its brightness or contrast. And suppose I'm doing it here. You can change the lens type as 35mm or 105mm or movie prime. So by default it's 50 by 300mm zoom. So once you're done, just click OK. You can see the lens effect over here. So next is the, again go to the filter and render and lighting effect. You can select the area which you want to do the lighting effect of. move to that particular area, and if you want to change the color of that particular region, if you select the white, then it will retain your all colors. You can change it like a blue color or green or yellow. Once you're done with all these settings, just click OK. So you can see this, it looks really cool because of this light effect. Then next part comes is a stylize. Go to the filter and stylize, and there are many effects, but right now I'm showing this style effect. You select the number of tiles which you want. I'm selecting it as a 10, and maximum offset is 10%, and fill empty area with, I'm selecting this as a background color and hitting OK. Now you can see the tiles, different tiles are appeared here on your image. So that's all about this extra tutorial. Thanks for watching my tutorial.